What's up, anybody? Oh, well, that was quick. I started early, too. It's funny. I still got to put some tunes on, but I thought I'd start early so I get everything settled, and anybody who wanted to come in could come in and say hi before I start breaking open packages and making magic. Well, I wouldn't say magic, but, hot shit. Yeah, I can move these out of here. Let's see anything else I need to clear out. I can go over there. All right. Let's see. Some tunage. A little bit of music. That would have been nice if I had actually clicked on the chat first. Fucking dumbass. And here we go. Let's see. What's on here? Oh. I have to find my cord. All right, and I'm still not technically supposed to be on yet, so almost. But I'll have everything set up by then. Just a moment of time. Sorry, it might have been a little loud for a second. That was the last volume I had it at. Oh, wow, holy crap. There's a whole bunch of people here already. Hey, what's up, everybody? Mikey, what's up, bud? Wow, I didn't expect such a crowd already. Jesus, I guess I better get started. Okay, so, quick background on why I have so much experience with differentials. When I was only back into this for about maybe 6 or 7 months, my ex-wife had a Notorious and put on a set of these, the Proline trencher, which, as we know, can add a whole lot of strain onto a drivetrain. And, well, she was blowing up diffs every other day. And I actually made her take the tires off. But I did gain some experience there and ended up, now we all run those tires. So, eventually I learned how to make them solid. So without further ado, I don't have an aluminum case, which is technically part of the recipe for a bulletproof diff. Mine's still in the mail. I don't know why. Everything I get from Amazon is usually the next day, and the last 2 things have been like a week. I don't know. I mean, all I got was a distributor and a battery strap. So, anyway, these bearings are, I believe, new. Some might be reman. I mean, I dip mine and go back through them and all that kind of stuff, but none of them have any play to them, so that shouldn't affect anything. So anyway, start off with the easy stuff. Just going to put the pinion in. I'm going to start the pinion off with now in order, thinnest, medium thin, medium thick, super thick. Super thick is very obvious in the lineup of shims that come from M2C. You can see the edge of it. It's that thick. Medium thin, you shouldn't be able to bend with your fingers. Now, I am an auto technician, so maybe that has, maybe I have a little more hand strength than a lot of people. I'm not trying to boast. I'm just saying it's not always a good thing. The medium thin, you should be able to flex pretty easily with your thumb and pointer finger and pinky or thumb, pointer, and middle. The thinnest ones you'll be able to bend. You should be able to just walk these over, just flop them over on you. So, yeah, that one is in the wrong pile. So. See, I'm just 90 degree that thing, no problem. All right, so I'll usually start with a medium thin on the pinion. Actually, you know what? I got a feeling about this one. I'm gonna go with a medium thick, but I'll usually be in the mediums. So start there, and I'll let that sit over there and do nothing for a while. All right, now let's get into the meat and potatoes. Look, more stickers for my fridge. Let's see if we can coat that whole thing. I'm going to go over a couple of different tips that I've learned over the years that keep these things working. In my experience, there's two major reasons for failure. Bolt failure, having bolts back out, especially on the ring gear side, and also bearing failure. Right, because when bearings, lose their track, they start going off center, wonky, whatever, and they'll eat everything as well. So, and if you want to know what that looks like, in general consensus, this is going to be a bolt failure because you're coming in one section that's messed up. So that's where the bolt came loose and it flexed it. This is also a bolt failure job. As you can see, it's got segmented parts that are messed up. And this is more of a bearing failure where the whole thing is just going all the way around. So I keep those around just for that purpose. All right. First things first, always. Assemble your ring gear on your case. All right. So usually in doing my gears or my diffs when I always do them, I'll Loctite this thing right now at this point. And yes, I know it sounds a little extreme, but the purpose of that is any contamination into your bolts from anything other than Loctite will cause the Loctite not to work, and they will back out. So I'll usually Loctite this thing first when it's dry, just to get it out of the way and make sure that it's not coming apart. In this scenario, since we're doing this video, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put a couple bolts in it. Oh, I need the gasket. Duh. Make sure, even on dry assembly, you have your gaskets for spacing purposes. So, actually, I'm just going to do it the way I normally do it, just to make things authentic here. Not, strained from any of my normal. And we've got a couple other tips and tricks to go through. That's just one of them. But to me, that is paramount, that you get this thing locked down with Loctite right away. And yeah, I'm using the 271, the thick stuff. Yes, these bolts will not come out unless you add heat. So you'll have to take a torch to your case when you want to take these bolts out. Is that worth not blowing differentials? I think so. That's up to you. Yeah. I mean, I'd probably take differentials apart more for broken crown gears and wasted out drives than I do for failures of ring and pinion. And to me, that's pretty good. Yeah, dude, I was thinking that all day, bro, and yesterday. I would have loved to have that stuff. In case anybody wants to know, Mike's got a delivery on his way to my house of some of his lovely RC goodies. He makes very wonderful body skids, so you don't mess your body up like these. But he makes them custom with logos, different sizes. He makes really killer bumper springs, like that one. Kind of looks like Kermit. And I haven't broken one of his yet, and I've had him for, I don't know, probably a year. Man, maybe 6 months. I don't know. I don't keep track of time well, apparently. Also, wing mounts. Just started making really awesome side skirts, like the whole side skirt piece. And tools as well, such as diff holders, and that's what we're talking about, shock holders, and car stands. Which I was supposed to get a delivery of today, which I wanted to share with everyone, but unfortunately that didn't turn out. All right, so we've got this thing locked in, Loctited. We know the screws aren't going to get contaminated unless you manage to get enough grease on this side to go all the way through. So now we'll put that output drive together and all that. This is automotive assembly lube. It's a lot cheaper and does the same thing. So Mirror out drive. A little bit of yum yum on there. Just get some of that in there. On the O-ring side too. All right. Now we're gonna go with I'm gonna go with the medium thick here again. All right. On top of the gear. Yes. Behind the bearing. You're not going to go in there and freaking bend the crap out of all those little stupid things that they tell you to put in there that are like tinfoil shaped. No. Those have a different purpose. I'll show you that in a minute. So then obviously everybody knows this sequence. O-ring, big washer, small washer. But there's something else coming up that's a little different. All right, so big washer, small washer, and then our drive pin. Yeah, I do break these from time to time too. Oh, drive pins, right? Whenever you're using drive pins, because especially if you have EXP, non-EXP parts, you can interchange these things on accident. Take your drive pin, put it in your out drive, and stick it in the back of your crown gear, and make sure you've got a real good, tight, snug fit. If you don't, then you've got the wrong pin, and you don't want to put that in there because it's going to shatter your crown gear just by moving around. I mean, if you're putting enough torque on it, you know. So, let's see. Get this guy lined up, man. Come on. In you go. Come on. There we go. All right. So then we've got our spacer that replaces the LSD blades, right? So as you can see, this has 4 little grooves in it and 4 little grooves on the other side. We do this because these have lubrication grooves. Why don't these? And we started eating through these shims, like wiring them all the way down and through when we didn't cut these grooves in. So I cut these grooves in for lubrication purposes. Don't put them on the same place side to side because they will break and that will cause diff failure. Try and stagger them. And also I don't make them straight because I figure, you know, maybe if you get them at the right angle, you'll have a scooping effect. Some of these are cut great, some are not. And it's all been a here and there thing, but we're not cutting those washers in half anymore, or spacers, whatever you want to call them. So there you go. All right, so this is going to be a dry assembly first, just to check for movement of everything. So, as everybody knows, all these guys on, flat plates, and our notch pointing in the right direction. Some people will build these in a full stack of all 4 gears and everything and just drop them in, and that does work sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. So, anyway. Notches on the flat plates also go toward the inside and outside of the diff, not side to side or whatever you would call it. So they'll be pointing up when you drop them in like this. Come on, get over there. There we go. All right. So there's those two. This is why I need a diff holder. All right. Yeah, totally, man. All right. So the next 2 plates. And then we got, so that's one of the tricks is cutting those grooves in there. We haven't replaced many washers since we started doing that, and we were eating them up probably every 2 months before that, depending on how much driving you do with one wheel spinning, really. All right, so let's go ahead and drop our crown gear in there. Always get that rotated, make sure it's sitting nice and flush. And a lot of people like to line the crown gear up with the bolt holes. Makes it easier to put the thing together, I guess, if you're doing it like that. So outer bearing, no shim, a little bit of goo, a little in there, a little in there, a little on the drive. So, bam, and then big and small, and pin. And obviously we're not done with this because we still got to put lube in it, but we're going to do a dry assembly here first and get our measurement down for our pinion spacing. So if I have to take it apart, I don't have to take the lube back out of it. So yeah, as some of you might have noticed, I did put a OG. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, never mind. One of the thinnest possible original differential shims, the ones you used to use on the outside of the bearing. Yeah, throw that under one of your guys here. And if you have any binding when you go together, then take it out. But if you don't, No, you just made less gear shock. So less gear shock means less broken gears. Come on, line it up. There we go. And then always make sure these are working and in harmony before you tighten anything down, because you can't tighten them down with the gears not meshing properly. So always give it a little spinny as you're going in. Hey, Cool Spawn, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Welcome to Diffs 101. You missed a little bit, but the important part's still coming. So, all right, again, 2 volts. So see, this is moving perfectly freely, so I don't think that shim is too much in there. In fact, I might risk another one if we weren't going to be running 500K, because we are. So now we come into the important part. So in the case with the one shim on both, all right, get it real in there. Let's see what we got. So holding the pinion. We've got 0 lash. So that's going to be too tight when the cover goes on, because that cover and just bolting it all together takes up a touch. So we're going to take the shim out, and we're going to go to A, C. Yeah. No, let's, okay. A medium thin. I wish I had a good caliper. If I had my digital dial caliper, if it had a battery in it, I would have measured all those for you guys and been able to tell you what size they are. But you can go on the NTC site and it tells you. All right, so it feels better rotationally, but all right. So you get just tiniest bit of play here. Just. It's barely feelable. No, what that's telling me is when I get this cover on, it's going to be boom, fantastic. So find some bolts for that real quick, because I don't have them out for some reason. Well, they don't come with it, so. All right. So bolting that cover down should give us exactly what we want, which is 0 lash with no binding. Because it's easy to go overboard and get it into the binding stage, and that's just going to wear stuff out faster. It's not going to wear in like you think it might. They don't really do that. That's kind of a thing. There we go. All right. And as I'm sure you know, or you've heard, or you're guessing, yeah, don't tighten them all the way down with the drill. Let them sit for a minute and then give them final torque, because threads get hot and they melt, even in these composites. And you could use a really light torque setting on the brake there, but the problem with that is that they get hot. So, all right, so so we seat the bearings a little bit. Yeah, see, it's got a stiff spot and it's digging into the case. So got a little bit too much in there. It's got 0 lash, but yeah, we need to go to a smaller shim. So let's tear it back apart. It's funny, I've rarely had one that didn't run out of the box with 2 mediums. Of course, without the all 4 bolts in the all 4 bolts are in the front cover. So never mind. I was thinking the ring gear might be off center slightly if we only had 2 bolts in the boat. We have all 4 now. There we go. So let's just pop this little guy out of here and get a smaller one. So I think we got the super thin. Another thing is too, I've had some of these come where the teeth are kind of sticking up a little bit on top. I don't know if it's a machining thing or what, but I mean I'm talking a couple thousandths of an inch, no big deal. But still I've shaven down the top of pistons or pinions a little bit to get them to work a little better. With a setup where I had to bury the teeth because they were just worn already. Because unfortunately, that's what happens sometimes. Yeah, there's a gap there, so. All right, well, let's see what it feels like with this on it. Something about that screw didn't work right. I don't know what's up with that. It's a brand new case, so it better not be stripped. Oh, and if you want to, if you're running plastic cases and you want to, get them a little stronger, you can drill these down and tap them to where your bolts are here and your other ones come out the bottom here. I mean, not like all the way out the bottom, but just get into the cavity there. Because I've done that plenty of times. Once they strip out, just drill a slightly small hole in and go in with a tap and just make your own threads. Or you can just go right in with the screw and have it make its own threads, however you want to do it. Both ways seem to work just fine. In fact, it might be weaker to tap it because you're cutting threads instead of just boring them or whatever. All right, that feels pretty good. But do we have any play? Piece of hair. We have just the tiniest amount right there. And it's even tighter there, right? So we're dealing with an out around something or other. Something's not quite 1,000% in the hundreds or thousandths of an inch. Yeah, that's really good. There's a spot with just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of play, but we're talking less than a fingernail, really. So I'm good with it. Time to take it apart and finish it by actually adding lube and getting all the bolts in it. Now, after checking both my trucks, both the fronts are a little bit loose as far as the way I like the differential action. So I'm going to go 500K on this because that's what I usually run in the front of either of them. Now remember, the secret is to keep that stuff out of your bolt holes. If you get that silicone or whatever lube you're using in your bolt holes, you're just kind of done. And I like to do mine guts out. Yeah, I can put that in there, but the rest of it. So first thing we're gonna do is get some buttons and make sure they're clean. Because I mean, if they've got oil on them or any kind of leftover, schmutz, it could sacrifice your ability to hold that freaking Loctite. And that's like, this, I don't know, probably first reason diffs go bad. Either that or just not having the right clearance and just eating the damn gear out. God knows I've done plenty of them in 2 years or so. Oh shit, everybody's having a conversation but me. Yeah, right, Mike? Wow. Yeah, I think. Well, you got it nailed down a while ago, man. We talked about it. Cool song about your diffs. Hey, Mr. Roberts, what's going on, man? Congratulations for finding us and welcome to the channel. Hello to you too, good sir. Sorry I missed when you originally came on. I've been building differentials or a differential, but yeah, it's definitely welcome. Um, Wait, what else am I using? I'm using 500K generally in the front, 200K generally in the rear, million in the middle plus earplug. Usually about half an earplug will do it in the middle. I do run 500 front and rear on the stunt truck from time to time, just depending on how I'm feeling about the way the diff's working. I don't run any LSDs because you have to run really light fluid to make them work. But that's another thing. I actually have an LSD in Nick's car, I think, right now, just because I wanted to see if you'd notice it. And yeah, absolutely, man. Welcome to the channel, dude. We're all very nice, polite, helpful people. If you need anything, by all means, please ask. Even if you want to know what the hell is that thing, because more than likely you'll see something where you'll have to say that at some point. It just kind of happens here. So, fun with goo. Come on. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. On the Creighton, I usually run a little bit lighter diff in the rear. Plus, I run zero toe too, so I'm definitely running loose ends. I'm running a stiffer diff, but a looser rear end, technically, if you want to look at it on paper like that. Because zero toe is definitely going to swing it out a lot quicker than the 3 degrees that ARRMA gives you to start with. All right, come on, get on in there. Yeehaw. God, that sounded way redneck. Okay, so I'd say that's an okay amount to go with. I mean, you could use a little more, but I don't want to go nuts here and end up losing my bolts. Plus, hold on a second before we go get stupid here. And we still got that shim in there for spacing, so let's go ahead and get this all fully flushed out and see how much lube is actually in there. Right, so sometimes you might have to do one of these numbers. I need to I'm just gonna take one out of there, stupid. All right, so test fit procedure. If I can get a pen out here, please. Damn you. All right. You can take another out drive and just put it in there with your pin and just press it while you're turning both ends, and you'll be able to seat all the gears so you know what kind of spacing you got. Even if you got a really heavy fluid, you can figure out kind of leftover space if any you have. Which we could definitely go with some more, but like I said, you gotta be careful because you don't want to get that stuff in your gears or in your bolt holes. Which is why they're covered. Yeah, that's right there. Good. Okay. Now, Well, it's not quite locked in for some reason. Okay. Yeah. What the hell's going on here? Spider gears just don't want to line up for some reason. Okay. There we go. All right. Just need some extra force. And as you can see, the extra force caused fluid to come popping out over here. So that's where it gets in your bolt holes, just like that. So I'm just going to hope this works out. Let's see. Already got our spacer on there. So end washer. And very, very carefully. Oops. Okay. I was lifting that while I was moving it, trying not to grab any of that juice. Try and get them all in the hole before you tighten any of them, because if you end up smushing grease out the side or oil or lube, whatever, then it's going to get in your bolt holes. It's all about keeping the lube out of the bolt hole, damn it. All right. So, get these four. Get away in, and then see what happens. This should be perfect, just about. What's going to be interesting is if that offsetness goes away when we get all four bolt holes or bolts in this other side, or maybe it'll change the mesh. Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out. These are going a long way. Jesus. All right, come on. Oh, hell. Okay, why isn't this setting up? All right, you guys have been here the whole time. There's no way I stripped this damn case. Never even took a power tool to this damn thing. But this is still quite a ways. This isn't seated yet. Nope. Yeah, something's not set right in there. Fuck. Oh, yeah. Story of my life. If you can, it will go wrong. Yeah, something's not right. Oh, yeah. Fucking high that thing is. I wasn't even touching it. Still doesn't have any lubrication holes. Oh, God. What the fuck, dude? Get down there. All right, fuck it. What in the hell is wrong with this thing? All right, something's not right with one of the damn spider gears or some shit. This is a rare problem, but I can't say it's never happened. All the notches are upright, yeah. Yeah. Our split's not together. That's what it is. Split didn't sit right when it went together. Mm-hmm. There we go. You want to avoid that. Make sure that all the 4 of your plates are sitting at the same depth going around the sides of the case before you put it together. I should have done that, but I was so excited about having all of you here. Well, fine then, Mike. Yeah, tell me about it, bro. I'm doing the same thing at my age. Absolutely not. Hey, cool spawn, be easy, bro, if you don't leave already. Bye, Amy. See you soon. Yeah, see, I really need to figure out a way to make this thing chime when somebody messages me. So when I'm not so deep in my work, I can actually look up and talk. So anyway, we got that all sorted. Now this is going to be done. Already got Loctite. None of the grease got in the holes from what I can see. And they'll actually thread when they're making contact. I don't know how I made such a rookie mistake too. All right, but at least everybody else learned from my mistake if you haven't done that already. All right. And Bongo, it's going to be that. All right. That should be perfect. Where? Mm-hmm. All right, 1 feet, I guess. So shit, I just got rid of over there. All right. It's in the case, stupid. Yeah, these are pretty much anything 6S ARRMA. I guess a lot of the road cars are red spools on, but anything that's actually got a differential. All right, so now we are 0 lash, tiny bit, tiny bit, 0, 0, tiny bit, tiny bit. Yeah. I can tell you all those bolts are torqued the same. I mean, you could technically take it out and take it and like flip the front cover, 180, and see if that made it more even. Because maybe it's a difference between the case and the gear. It's just got that tiny bit. Not even like you couldn't run a plastic bag through there. I know that. So let's put some grease in it and see what it feels like. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's no play or no binding. There's nothing there. Nothing there. And that's exactly it. Zero lash with no binding. That's exactly what you want. And if you got this set up in an aluminum case, you know the case ain't going to flex. You know the diff housing itself ain't going to flex. You know, whatever kind you want to use, but that is it. And like I said, I run these and I usually break out drives or wear out the out drives or break a crown gear before I'll burn up the diff ring and pinion. And I mean, I usually have them out at least every probably between 3 and 5 months, depending on if I got to replace something or not, or even just for maintenance at that point. You know, we definitely tear them down every 6 months anyway, no matter what. So that's it, man. That is differential building 101 for the ARRMA 6S series. So no matter what, I got to end this one. How much diff fluid do I add? No, do not make it level with the cover. The crucial thing is don't get oil in the holes. If you've got fluid enough, diff fluid, to where you can actually put oil in it and see the level and it kind of like, you know, evens out, I'd say probably, I don't know, Mike, you got to answer for this one halfway, maybe 3/4, depending on what's in it, gear-wise. I usually try to get enough to cover up the spider gears on one side. Yeah, I do think it was already cracked. I didn't know you were asking that. I thought you were telling me that. I think it was definitely already compromised for sure. That was insane, bro. That jump was nasty. And I haven't like put it in editing yet to zoom in on it because I love to see exactly what it looked like up close. But that landing was just like, this thing's just sliding and you're like, oh my God, it just happened. Like, dude, that was badass. Lance, man, you got any other questions? Love to answer them for you. I'm not trying to kick you out of here, but if you came in late, you know, we're already done. Yeah, there you go. Cover the spider gears. So have your crown gear. First things first, always bolt on your ring gear first while it's dry with Loctite before you do anything. Because any lube on that thing is gonna make your bolts not work. If you get lube in the bolt holes, then put that side together. Put your spider, your crown, your rods, you know, all your stuff in there, and fill it up to the top of the spider gears. That sounds like a good plan. Because that's pretty much about how I do it. How I did it in this video anyway. And then if anybody else wants to know fluids, yeah, I run million plus earplug, half an earplug at least in the middle, 500,000 front, 200,000 rear, sometimes 200,000 rear, or 500,000 rear in the stunt truck and then the Taurus. Shims are just for the front and rear. Yeah, middle diff doesn't have to be shimmed because you don't have a bevel gear, so you're not going against. You're not trying to take one of these and I have an opinion out here. I don't worry about that. So because the center gears are straight cut, you're not trying to get one of these to stick to one of these, so you don't have to push this or push this in order to get the gears, because the gears on that are just coming together, you know, straight, right? Like so. So you don't need to push these anywhere. You've got a motor mount adjustment. That's the only thing you need, because the gears are helical cut on a ring and pinion, and you're going a 90-degree power transfer. That's why you need to shim. And if you missed it, I don't shim the way ARRMA wants you to. I put axle shims on my ring gear before I put my bearing on it. And yeah, you're taking a risk that you might have to take it all back apart again. That's why I do a dry assembly first, and I usually start with a medium shim. Tonight I started with a medium thick on the diff, and then a medium thick on the pinion, and I had to bring the pinion all the way down to the thinnest possible shim to get to this level. But obviously it's good now. Yeah, also it's not a 90-degree power transfer. You know, I mean, power transfer is directly horizontal, which is why you don't need a ring and pinion. Oh yeah, I gotta get all my stickers for my fridge. See? Cool, huh? I don't know what you're supposed to do with these stupid things, dude. I'm seriously like we before the house fire, we had an entire toolbox almost covered with them. And now I'm covering the fridge with them because, you know, we gotta do something with the stupid things. I'm an old skateboarder, man. If you get stickers, you gotta slap stickers. Sticker slap, man. All right, anyway, so anything else on diff stuff? Because I don't want to drag this out too long because I told everybody this would be a just differential video. I mean, I'm not trying to hang up on you guys. I'm just saying, like, you know, I told everybody this would be a diff only video. But I guess, you know, if you say you're done at the end of the diff only video, then they know you're done with diffs. Maybe I'll just edit it like I always do with my freaking live streams. Not. Anyway, where the hell am I? Oh shit! Did I throw that away? Stupid ass. Now my shims are all over the place. Actually, sit on there. Get in their bag. There we go. That'll hold them. I also, on this one, I just did actually the shims you usually use for the bearings on the diff case that suck because you can't get them in because they bend and flex and get all fucked up. I usually put one of those under one of my crown gears inside the differential to take up space, so you don't have as much gear shock, and, you know, slapping back and forth. But assemble it dry first with the shim in it to make sure that you can take up that space without binding, because it's very easy to bind. And if you have a heavy diff fluid, you won't know if you're binding or not once you put it back together. So that's kind of a thing. We also run cut washers for the replacement of the LSD plates. These thick washers that you have in there instead of those. Come here, you little bastard. See, well, that one's not very well done. No, it's not well done at all. That's probably why it's not in the car. Yeah, see, we cut little grooves in them to make like lubrication channels. This isn't done right either. It just has little lops in it. I don't know what the hell happened to this one. Maybe Nick did it. I don't know. But we usually cut 4 little grooves in them to make lubrication channels, because we used to wear out the washers that they sit on top of, or spacers, whatever you want to call them. No problem, man. Anytime. That's what we're here for, dude. You know, we're not dickish about anything. You know, if you want to know something or if you got a question, if me and Mike don't know it, we probably know somebody who does. So, in fact, that's usually in the description of the channel. I just changed it tonight because we're doing the diff thing. Yeah, dude, friggin' the way I feel about it, and I'm pretty sure Mike does too, is that if there's more people to go RCing with, you're having more fun. If you can help more people keep their RCs on the road, then you're going to have more fun. Just kind of works that way. Anyway, but you know, I'm a fucking goofball anyway, so you know, I just go with it. I guess since we're kind of done, if anybody wants to see any of the rigs, the 8S ain't mine, that's Nick's, but it's pretty much stock except for MPC suspension stuff and RPM arms. But I got the GT, I got the old ass Team Walsey XXT I just picked up. I blew the speed control over the weekend. And then my Creighton and my Notorious, if anybody wants me to whip it out. Oh, Mike's running in the snow hard right now, bro. Yeah. You always got to have a sacrificial piece. It's like guys who buy aluminum control arms. As far as I'm concerned, we're running aluminum hubs, aluminum or steel blocks, and aluminum this and steel that, you need a sacrificial part somewhere in the suspension. So being the control arm, being that they're cheap and they're fairly large, that's a good piece to be your sacrificial piece. So beef up everything else and let that sucker break. And I even reinforce mine. I run brass sleeves in these things. Yeah, that's an RPM arm. And I've been doing this for about 3 months now. Less bent pins, less worn out arms. Because usually if you bend a pin, you don't really know you bent it unless you bent it really good and broke it or pulled it out of the car. And they'll just wear out your arms because they're bent and you're still moving the suspension. But this helps. I've bought a lot less hinge pins with that. So I run those in the inner rears, even the outer rears, and the inner front, top and bottom. Yeah, with a hose clamp. I mean, if you've got a broken arm, that's a great fix, and it's going to hold hard. I get that. I still want to be able to find titanium that'll crack instead of freaking bend. Because having a hinge pin that breaks for me is better because I don't want to bend it and screw my arm up over time. But yeah. Oh, anyway, okay, so I guess I'll put the Notorious up because I got a freaking I'm working on the body for that one anyway. Hey, Brody, welcome back. Oh, I should zoom out a little here, huh? There we go. Yeah, so we got another one of those crawler bodies, the narrowed front and back end. Yeah. I'm getting it set up for the roll bar and everything, and got stuff marked. Got my paints. Still got a mask and all that crap, but So yeah, this is my little breakdancing monkey. Yeah, like I said, running those big ass tires, diffs are fine. Yeah. It's got some bent shit here and there, but I mean, I think the chassis is still straight. That's a Typhon TRL tune chassis. Oh, that's right, Mike. I want to show you these blocks too. So it's 64 grams lighter than a Notorious EXP, or than a stock Notorious, and it's stronger. So there you go. All right, so these are my prototype. I don't know if you can see these there. Prototype D blocks. All right. So that's 2 steel plates stacked with a pin through it and a plate on the outside to hold the pin, which, no, it's not coming through. That's the bolt. So, and then on the back, I've got a single plate. I don't know if you can see that now down in there. Yeah, it's angled the wrong way. So in the back, there's, can't really see it that way. Okay, so in the back, there's a single plate of steel. Making it out of this stuff. It's just basic mild steel stock from any Home Depot or whatever. But I'm using these to make my templates because these are TRL tune blocks, are adjustable, so you can dial in angles you want. Because I don't like ARRMA's angles. I don't like having no anti-squat and 3 whole degrees of toe. If you look at this thing from a distance, you'll see the rear tires are about square. Yeah, they're not angled in. That's the way I like it. Well, I should have ripped off one of my mud guards there. Yeah, it's time to get some carbon fiber MTC ones anyway. So that's a big thing. All right, everybody shut the hell up right now. Nothing? Don't tempt me to entertain myself, because I will. I'll just start putting stickers on the fridge. Screw you guys. Really? Oh, I'm waiting on your side guards, bro. I saw those. Those are hot, dude. I want those bad. And I mean, if you want to set up some mud guards, I'm down. Brick by brick. Excuse me. Sorry. Hey, man, what's up? Wondering if you in the RC crawler world. I do not crawl. Mike does. Mike can answer that one for you for sure. All I know about crawling is it's cross training for finger control for bashing. All right. That's probably a little loud for that copyright bullshit. There we go. All right. How you doing, Brody? You good, boy? Where's the big puppy? Eating, I see. Hey, good guy. Well, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna eat or are you gonna hang out? Oh, I have a question for everybody, real quick. And I've asked several people this, and I've only gotten the same answer. If you have red, white, and blue flames, what's the order of the colors? Whenever you guys are done with your conversation, of course. I'll try to interrupt. Sorry about that. Yeah, I should probably check what hardware shit. Yeah, I definitely should. There's that thing spinning again. Yep. I was just kidding, dude. No. I was making a joke because you guys weren't talking. Okay, good. I thought you bailed, bro. No. I was totally joking. No, I would never be that rude to somebody I don't know. I gotta have a reason first. I don't think I'd be that rude in public anyway, but I guess it depends on the situation. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah, that's a cracked bulkhead for sure. Now, that's not an aluminum one, is it? No, okay, cool. That's coming out. How in the hell is that coming out? Oh, and running aluminum case covers on plastic bulkheads is cool. It actually does help a little bit. Blue, white, red, or red, white, blue. That's funny. Everybody has told me white, blue, red. Huh. I mean, because, like, this is, like, well, that one's got parts in it. I mean, you probably see this one. So, that's usually kind of the scheme I run, like, I think that was supposed to be purple, blue, white, but it didn't quite come out. You know, it was just kind of like mainly blue with a little bit of white, a whole lot of purple. You know, it's kind of difficult sometimes. But, all right, so you said what? Blue, white, red. Here's another thing to consider. The red and blue are fluorescents, which will be color changeable by backing color. So I can, like, two-tone them. Like, I can make them, like, darker or lighter in the front of the back. Not on both ends, because I'm not firing up an airbrush for that. But you know, like you can start off with like a dark red, go to a light red, and then go to a dark blue to a light blue. You know, something like that. White isn't really something you can change colors with on the backside. See, that man's got a lot of experience with a lot of different cars. That's why I hand a lot of questions over to him. I mean, I can tell you about racing anything 20 years ago, but as far as current experience, it's mainly ARRMAs. 4S line, 3S line. Of course, I did buy a GT because, well, I used to have one and they're awesome. And the Team Losi truck, some kid just had that for, and he was like, "Yeah, $60 you can have it." I'm like, "Yeah, that's a classic, dude." So, all right, cool. And then my roommate's got the 8S, and I've got a Creighton and a Notorious and a Spider, which is a combination Mojave Typhon Creighton. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really contemplating that because I don't want to fuck this up. I think I might just take the red out. Or maybe just have it just right at the tips. But I don't want too much white either. Decisions. Maybe I should put some purple in there. I don't know. I mean, I do have other colors. TRX4. Is that like a TRX4 crawler? That's cool. I didn't know they made one. I don't know much about Traxxas. In the 90s, dude, Traxxas was like a toy grade almost, like nobody really paid attention to them. I mean, they were like cool and they came out of the box quick, but it wasn't a big thing. Of course, I was out of this hobby for like 10 years, so I don't know. Oh, yeah, and those are 3 mil screws in the front bumper and lots of things. I 3 mil out a lot of stuff because the smaller screws just don't cut it. Like, yeah, the top of all my center diff mounts are all 3 milled out. Front of the center brace, 12.5 pound springs from what's it called? Century Spring Company, and running 100 weight fluid in everything right now. Everything except the GT. The GT's got stock 35 or whatever it comes with in it. And that thing's got a $74 freaking, or no, $47 Amazon motor that kills it. 1/7 crawler. That's a beast. Wild. Oh, and we're running a shock mod with a washer underneath the piston to flexible washer that covers half the holes for dual rate damping, so you get less rebound than compression. Yeah, it comes up a little slower. I think these shocks are getting out of oil in the back here. I haven't checked them in a while, but so we get that slower rebound. I probably should check them out, but it's a diff video, so. But I don't want to stop this video because I have so many cool people here to talk to, and I usually don't. I'm so lonely. Well, that's a different story. They make gas crawlers? Brody, where you going? Ugh. $17 more. Yeah, like I got time to watch 17 videos. I got so much editing to do on my own shit. In case anybody's interested, I do have a separate channel too that's for automotive stuff only because I am a auto mechanic, technician, whatever you want to call it. And we're doing a Civic project right now, and I'm probably gonna have my Triumph Tier 4 on pretty soon. Had to move it the other day, so I definitely want to get it in the shop and work on it. But yeah. Anyway, that's Logan Squared RC, because the guy I work next to, his name's Logan, and my name's Logan, so we call each other Logan Squared, or, you know, we both just whatever. Yeah, Traxxas Wrestler is pretty popular. I know that. Two S's are quick if you got something light with the right gearing and the right motor setup, you know. I mean, I thought it was insane. They had 24 36 volt setups when I freaking came back into this. I'm like, what the hell happened to 7.4? Well, the trucks are 15 pounds now. That's why. Nothing beats a brushless LiPo combo. Hey, man, we 6S a Vortex. We didn't bash it, but that's because it went like 65. Not necessarily. Depends on your gearing, man. No. I mean, I don't need this fan. This motor never gets over 100 degrees. And, you know, it'd probably make 150 if I didn't have it. I've got a stock little piece of crap ARRMA fan on my my Spectrum 26, whatever they come with stock, with a Max 6 G2 attached to it. And that thing never gets over like 140, but I fly with that thing. And that thing does 60 on grass. This thing's just tied up in a skate park doing flips all day. I mean, it's not a bad thing to have a fan. You know, by all means, it's better to be safe than sorry. But I would see what your temperatures are looking at before you know, go spending the money on them. Pinion gear. Yeah, pinion gear, and then the big one's a spur. But of course, the differential gears that are the small ones are also called a pinion. But then the big one's called a ring instead of a spur. And I'm not being condescending at all. I'm just saying, I'm just tired, man. Seriously, not trying to be condescending, not trying to be a dick to anybody, especially somebody I don't know. Besides, I've learned, like, when I was like 40, like, being a dick is fucking pointless. You're going to make somebody else have a bad day, and are you really going to feel better about it? Like, you know, you're just being a dick. It's pointless. Absolutely pointless. Nobody benefits from anybody being a dick. Ah, what the hell? Weather's changing down here, and nose is running. What do you mean, like shoot them up? Plastic or metal? And that's a different pitch, I think, than we run. That should be like a, yeah. Well, that's the first problem. Second problem, it's probably a pretty small pitch, I would imagine, 48, 36. Yeah, if your mesh isn't like pretty stout, I mean, these things are metal gears on pinion and spur, so you can have your mesh out a little bit and get by, but you'll hear it after a while, and it's just, you know, you'll end up screwing them up pretty bad. And then once they're worn, you can't put them back together to get the right mesh. Yeah, mesh is just super, super important on gears, especially. Yeah, well, 50 is a lot. I mean, that gear's got to have something in it. I mean, is it like a part of the differential assembly, or because I think these are only like 30 something. Of course, you really can't really compare. It's a different truck, you know. Yeah, no, I know. I didn't want to spend $50 for my last shock tower either, but it's M2C, so I'm not upset about it. And I mean, I definitely wouldn't have spent 150 on an M2C chassis, even though they're like pretty badass. But we had a gift certificate from Armageddon, so I got to get one. And it's been off a parking garage and jumped over this house, and it hasn't broken yet or bent. 32 pitch, right? Okay, yeah, 32 pitch is not bad. To mesh, right? We used to do it back in the day with a piece of notebook paper, and you just roll it between it and just push it together as hard as you can, and then tighten it down. And then once you get the, roll the piece of paper out, and then usually you have just the right amount of mesh on 32s. 48s are a lot harder, but I mean, I don't think anything's running 48s except for carpet pan cars. And we even used to have 72 pitch. So yeah, 32s pretty much are just like these mod zeros. You just want to get them as close as you can, but have just a little bit of movement. That's probably a little excessive right there, but I am moving the pinion slightly also. If I hold the pinion, yeah, that's a little too much, but you tighten it up. Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, back when I started out racing off-road, that was originally when I was like 9, 10 years old. Always used the paper trick. I think I got that out of RC Car Action magazine. And then when I was racing Serpents in the 2000s, I mean, that's just like, I mean, you're staring right at that. You can't screw it up. Plus, they have for the 2-speed, you have to run certain gears. They have a book for that, because otherwise you could unmesh one and not the other. See, that's too tight now. I got nothing. Bring it out just a wee bit. There we go. That's better. All right. Mesh set. Just a tiny bit of, but always check it at different spots, because you can have something that's like weirdly out of round like this, and now I got a tight spot, so now I got to loosen it up. Yeah, I don't know why. I haven't had any of these really that don't have a weird spot to them. I guess it's just something to do with everything that's bolted down to the chassis. Maybe something's bent. I don't know, but I haven't been able to eyeball anything that looks wonky. My dog is being weird. Hi, Brody. Where you been all night, monkey bud? Come here, buddy. Oh, get up here. Hi. What's up with you, big guy? Yeah, you've been running around the neighborhood, huh? Maybe you've been rolling dirt. Get tired of cleaning your ears. All right. Hi, yes, I know. You need me to pet you nonstop. What are you doing, bud? There we go. Yep, that's that. Paper trick. Essentially with drivetrain, you want everything to be as tight as possible without binding. I did a video on that like a couple weeks ago, like how to find out if you got binding drivetrain. Pull the motor off and then see if you can turn everything easy. If you can't, disconnect the center diff. Go from there. Deduce the problem. Break it down to wherever you need to. Oh yeah, that pulled out a little bit. Well, Mike has almost everything under the sun. I have 3 ARRMA 6s, a Notorious Creighton, and then my Spider, which is like a Typhon Mojave. I'll show you. Typhon Mojave Creighton like thing. RC10 gas truck, re-release 1981, and the I've got a low C XXXT Sport, which I have no idea what year that came out. This is the little gas truck. This thing's fun. Yeah. Like I said, that's got a cheap little trap motor from Amazon that works really well. I did modify it a bit, but it's all right. This is a Spider. So this is a Mojave chassis. It was a Typhon originally. And then we've got Creighton arms, axles, and knuckles. I'm pretty sure these are still Typhon shock towers, Typhon shock bodies, and Creighton shock rods for extra travel. But they're limited, of course, with spacers. Yeah, so that's my weird little bastard. Yeah, 28. My God, bro. That is a lot. And you've got a chick. That's pretty badass, man. That's an accomplishment. 28 RC cars has probably been the reason for some divorces. What, freaky? What is wrong with you? Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of different things over the years. I mean, back in the day, I started off with some Tamiya models, like a fox and a frog. Some of the re-releases they're coming out with now. And then I got into Associated, on-road RC10L, RC12L, RC10SC. Then I did off-road RC10T, RC10GT, RC10B3 or B4, I think. And then I got into on-road and I did Serpents, and I had a Serpent Impulse and Impact. And then got out of it for like 10 years and then went into ARRMAs straight off the bat. Just because Losi had that reputation back in the day, you know, and for being more like a toy. And these are engineered more like a race car, even though they're a lot tougher, a lot heavier. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will, buddy. No doubt about that. I mean, I don't know what the laws are up there, but I know down here, man, you'd be writing all that stuff off. Hell, I write off all my tools and my boots when I used to be able to wear boots before I had a broken foot. Right, buddy? Yeah? Who's your big boy? There you go. I kind of want to go run now. Sucks it rained earlier today, but now it's dried up because the skate park equipment's sick. I love hitting skate park in the rain. Oh, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I mean, if your car is only used to get to and from work, you can write off car parts and maintenance, but only if it's used only for the work vehicle. Even gas. Yeah, so I need to get some of those new blocks made. I need to get another set or another couple sets done. Now that I got, once I get the template down. I'm making them by hand, so it takes like, you know, a good 40 minutes to make a pair, but I'm going to make at least like 3 or 4 sets for everything I got, and then I got to send you some, like, and that'll just be like envelope size, so that'll be easy. Actually, how many pairs do you want? I'm running 3.5 degrees anti-squat and 0 toe or like half a degree toe. If you want like 3 or 4 sets, no problem. I'll make them for you. Just let me know how many 6S's you want to bolt them onto. Yeah, we're weird where I come from. Actually, I got to put a shock stand off on my my Creighton. Not tonight though. And I got to order my new shock tower next week. Let's get this plastic ring around it. It's weird. Anyway. Well, I guess if that's going to be it, guys, I'm going to call it because I'm going to I don't know. I'm probably just gonna screw off for the rest of the night because, like I said, I was just gonna make the diff video, which I'm probably gonna edit real quick and just cut out the backside of it. But we'll be back on Thursday at 8 o'clock as usual. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 Eastern Standard Time. Next week or next live cast, I think I'll be doing general repairs on everything. Getting everything ready for the weekend. And then maybe some bodywork stuff. I mean, if I have stuff to do in between coats of paint, I'll probably do some painting stuff. Because I'll probably have them all masked up by then. I got that one. I got the Punisher for the Creighton, the same one I always get because I just love that body. It's a good looking body. It's a tough body. It's got a nice aerodynamic rip to it. Cheers, brother. Oh, are you British? Awesome. Hey, man, hope you come by again. Looking forward to it. Oh, well, Mike, that leaves me and you and my TV and my mom's TV. I'm just kidding. Oh, you're Canadian. All right, cool. Well, awesome. Hey, sorry, man. Cheers. Usually would have been really obvious if you said ta. But cheers, brother. I'll talk to you soon, hopefully. I'm in the USA. Mike's in Canada. I'm in Florida. Let's see. Amy is in Florida. No, Amy is in Oklahoma. And Cool Spawn, I believe, is in Arizona. Yeah. Yeah, check out Mike, by the way. He's at Canadian RC96. Dude, he's doing some wild shit right now, man. Really wild shit. Like, I mean, I thought I was cool when I jumped a house and jumped off a parking garage with an RC car. And he's just he's sending it like nobody sends it, bro. He's sending it like only one other person sends it, and that's Kamikaze, who's the best in the business. I don't know if you've seen him as far as bashing goes. Actually, you want to see crawling too, I would check him out. He does some wild crawling stuff. He took a crawler and was hanging one wheel on the edge of a roof and then drove it over to a pole and then went across the pole to another roof and then down across that roof, hanging on one wheel the whole time, and then onto a ramp and then down and onto the ground with a crawler. Pretty badass. So, I'm not sure of the exact territory, but I know Mike's north of Michigan, right? A bit over the border from where they say God rested his hand or whatever the fuck. That's solid enough. Mike, you there, buddy? Looks like Mike might have dropped out for a minute. There he goes. Ontario! Oh. I'm sorry, duh. I think he bailed, bro. All right, man. Well, that's that. I don't know. I guess it was semi-successful. Not as good as I thought it was going to be, but it is what it is, man. 2 years in, bro. We're gonna do it someday. Oh man, keep the hits coming, bro. You're killing it up there. Come snow nor sleet nor rain or hell or high water, you're out there kicking ass, bro. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, we had like 6 or 7 for the most part for the whole thing. Oh, absolutely, bro. I got you, man. You are really kicking ass, dude. I mean, I am kind of jealous of your skate park situation there. But I saw a video Kamikaze did earlier today, and he did one of those massive hits where he goes like over the skate park and shit. Dude's running up from distance. I mean, like distance, like 10 seconds of driving distance. So he's obviously accelerating very slowly, making sure he's at max speed when he hits the ramp. Thinking I need to turn down my steering sensitivity and go for it. Yeah, right. Yeah, dude. No, I'm gonna start really lighting it up, dude. I'm gonna make sure we got so much run up, it's not even funny. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna start really going for it. Now that we got the ramp for it. Nice if it was a little wider, but I gotta fit it in the car, right? It doesn't even fit in the car. Who am I kidding? All right, Broseph. I will talk to you soon, man. Um, keep kicking ass, bro. Cone trick. It's a cone trick. What are we talking about? Very humid. No shit, it's Florida. Fucking weather report. Where is very humid? 74 degrees. All right, you can go away now. Go away. Close. Close the whole damn thing. Go away. Oh, why did I click on this? No, I can't close it. Settings. Go away. God damn it, dude. No, go. Fuck. All right. Make this thing go away. Thank God. Okay. For lining up the. Oh, yeah. Setting out cones. Right. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll have to get some of those little baby ones you get at like wherever. I don't know, Walmart, I guess. Or you do it with beer cans. I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, I'll definitely try that. And that's what we'll do this weekend. I don't know. I'm really hankering to go to a different park somewhere else. Travel. Oh, cool. Well, they're right next to my work. Thank you. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. Just need to change the scenery. Hell, I need some time off at work. So I need. I'm taking a week off in January. Amy's coming to see me. Yeah, she's flying down. She's going to buy her ticket down, and I'll buy her a return ticket. And then she's coming down to see me for a week. In 10 days, actually. Yep. I know, right? Julio. Could be anywhere, man. It's probably going to be in Tampa or Miami. Is that what's his name on? What is he on YouTube? Don Julio fishing. Really? Huh. Write that down. I could definitely be on either coast. All right, cool, man. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, you very well could be on the fucking Gulf Coast. You could be on the other coast too, but honestly, the fishing is probably bigger on the Gulf Coast because you can go from small, doing inland stuff that most people do, to all the way out in the middle of the Gulf, going for sailfish or whatever the fuck they are, marlin and shit. Where on the other coast, like all fishing is offshore. You know, I mean, inland shit's just whatever, but No, I hate Miami. The only big city I actually like is San Francisco, and I don't even like it that much anymore. Huh. I'm running front axles on the back of this car. I just realized that. Cool. I wonder when I did that. No, that's a couple weeks ago. Actually, I tried it before I got those axles that I just got in for the truck. Those CVs from like $14 knockoff CVs. Anyway, man, I'm gonna get off of here so I can go wash up and eat some more food. Fuck with my bodies. I will see you soon, bro. Stay awesome. Later.